just put our baby to sleep, and what we're gonna do now is review our favorite Netflix TV shows. My name is Jihei. His name is Ed, and he is from America. As a military family, we could really resonate with this show. So here we go. Our first pick, Crash Landing on You. The reason why I really like the show Crash Landing on You is because the male protagonist, Hyunbin, is really hot. He's handsome. He was, what are you doing? He was conscripted as a 해병대, which is like unity or Coast Guard. It's an equivalent of Coast Guard, no?
The Marine Corps?
Oh, okay, it's a Marine Corps. Sorry, I've only been a military spouse for 3 years now, so I need your help in saying these things. After he finished his conscription service, he was starred in this huge show, which was so successful. So everybody really loved him. His shoulders really broad, so people fell in love with him even more after the show. And the two main characters in the show are a real couple now. They are dating right now, so it makes it even more interesting.
The main actress?
Yeah. I have a really close North Korean friend who defected from North Korea when she was like 17, and she attested to my review of this show when I was like, the location seems so realistic, and people who are talking in North Korean accent, they're just like well trained. It didn't seem like they're South Korean actors.
Wow.
And she was like, yeah, the researcher for this show must have done a really good job, because, you know, the scene where the North Korean ladies were talking and, you know, they were living in this village, and I felt like I was actually back in my hometown. That says a lot about this show.
So as an American growing up in the US my whole life, when you hear North Korea, you just think the North Korean regime, the Communist Party, this nuclear threat, you know, this kind of like evil, distant hermit kingdom, you know, everybody calls it. Both as an American and as an American service member, you forget that that's just such a small portion of North Korea. There are just people, North Korean civilians, just in their villages, living their day, you know, they're just hanging out in the town square. To me, watching that show kind of, you know, shine a light on that side of North Korea that, you know, a lot of people, I think, not just military or not military, forget that is there.
I wish there were more shows like this. I really think that North Korean stories are just so interesting to the outside world. And as a former producer who used to work a lot with North Korean defectors, producing a show called 이제 만나러 갑니다, I think this is like, you know, a gold mine. Anyway, I don't know if it's available in the stateside actually, but this is probably the best show that we watched in Korea.
강철부대?
That's correct! And this show is our second pick, 강철부대. We haven't missed a single episode since it started airing. Even though I'm a military spouse, compared to average military spouses, I'm like, here, I don't know much about military. All I know is PCS means permanent change of station. Ah, I got that right! Anyway, even though I'm a beginner, I still enjoyed the show so much just because of the tension. You know, the spectacles of the show just got me hooked. And actually the producer is someone that I used to work with. And I want to give him a big round of applause. I think you're qualified to be one of the panelists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make it happen.
What did you think about this show?
You know, the production, who, you know, obviously, you know, the producer, whoever produced it, you know, did a pretty good job. You know, they make it seem like you're watching like a video game almost, you know, like they have the little...
The computer graphics.
Yeah, the little graphics, and like this team is running and you see like a little arrow and one team loses, you know, it goes gray.
eliminated.
Yeah, eliminate. Yeah, and so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it does feel like a live action game show.
So some of my coworkers at the office, we were talking about the show. We were kind of talking about some of the challenges that these soldiers had to do, and like we agreed that whoever came up with the test, it's a really good test of not just athleticism, but a good of military related fitness and stuff like that. So, whoever came up with the test, we thought did a good job.
Actually, my mom really loves watching this show for a different reason. Actually, I think these members of this show they're all so good looking. You're watching some Hollywood movie, it feels like.
And you could tell that the producers knew who the target audience was because they obviously filmed it in the winter and they're fighting in a mud pit, but for some reason they made everybody take their shirts off, and as soon as they're taking their shirts off, it's in like super slow motion, and they zoom into the commentators, and then everybody's like
tilts up,
clapping, and yeah.
I'm just gonna show you the best part of it. Here you go. The guys are all naked. And they're suddenly playing Magic Mike music. That's all I'm gonna say. I know that a lot of you are just already so interested. Look how hyper I am. In Korea, military service is mandatory. Half the population knows a thing or two about military, so what else can they make a show about? In Korea, it's the perfect show. Netflix is just endless when it comes to the selection of things to watch. Today, we only talked about shows that we love on Netflix, but who knows, maybe next time we will talk more about some other shows, like we did with, what is it?
Sky Castle.
Yeah, Sky Castle. Yeah, which is right here. Alright, stay tuned! Thank you for watching! Bye!